Welcome to Hopkins High School. We're hoping the rain will hold off this evening for Section 6 4A baseball, a winner's bracket game, second round. It is number 8 seed St. Louis Park, fresh off an upset over top seed Wayzata, taking on the number 4 seed, the Hopkins Royals. I'm Jay Wilcox along with Drew Keogh, and that was kind of the shot heard around the state a little bit. St. Louis Park coming in at number 8. Been a competitive team, but the record, had them lower in the seeding, and they came in and got a well-pitched game and knocked off Wayzata in that first round.
Yeah, a couple of Oreo programs making big news last night. Brian Kelly's team, they've had a good season. They've just lost a few close games. They came in with high expectations and dealt with some injuries and battled through some tough losses, but they showed up against Wayzata and battled against their number 1 and got out with the win. So big night for them to be here against Hopkins.
And the Royals coming in after a win over Minneapolis Southwest. Jason Michalakis, I asked how they played. He said, well enough. Not great. Did a few things well, did a few things not as well, but name of the game is getting the W at this point as they move into this second round. You never know. Baseball, probably as much as any high school sport, you can see upsets. You see the 1-8. You also see number 6 seed Armstrong shutting out number 3 seed Buffalo, and meanwhile Edina did really take care of business, but otherwise all the other games pretty close and a couple of upsets along the way, and nobody seemed as surprised as you might think to see a 1-8, partly because, like you said, St. Louis Park's been competitive. Looking through their schedule, and they split with some good teams, Chanhassen, and they had a couple of close losses against Benilde. They've been in battles and coming through. And meanwhile, for Hopkins, the last time we saw them, Wayzata took it to them pretty good. But they've been pretty lights out since then, just a couple losses. They've been playing better down the stretch as well. And both teams kind of came into the playoffs saying, yeah, we got a shot. And they've definitely proving it so far. And it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Wayzata is not out of it yet. You got Edina as a good team, but it's pretty wide open this year.
Yeah, I remember my first go-around at Cable 12 CCX Media. It was a learning experience. I always thought it was you look at the baseball season and you say, who has the best record? But really, when it comes down to playoff baseball, it's pitching. Who has 2, maybe 3 or 4 bullpen guys that can step up and do it? And when you look at the number 1, that first game in a tournament, their strategy. And if you can throw your number 1 and get a win, that's great. But sometimes you strategize and say, well, our number 2 might be able to get it, and our number 1 can go second round. And I think that's what we're seeing when you see the lower seeds. They're just scrappy. They're putting the ball in play. They're aggressive early in the count. And these pitchers at this level, they're trying to throw strikes early, get ahead in the count. And if teams are aggressive at the plate, hitting strikes, they're going to put the ball in play and have a chance to move on early in the bracket play.
Coach Michalakis was talking about how none of the teams, for the most part in this section, really have a lot of thunder with the bats either. So you're not looking at, a lot of 2-3 run homers to get teams back in games. So you're kind of playing a little more small ball, stringing hits together.
That thing said, Wayzata is a program that has put themselves at the top of the charts year after year in the past 3-4 years, and they are the team to beat. And St. Louis Park beat them last night. And Hopkins is here. They are a scrappy team. They play a tough conference schedule. They put up some good wins, and like you said, they're hot. And that's what you need. You need kids who feel comfortable at the plate, seeing pitches, putting the balls in play, and moving around the bases.
These first couple rounds are at home sites, but then the rest of the tournament will be right here at Hopkins, in large part, I'm sure, because of the turf field, and that might come into play a little bit tonight. I don't think we're expecting a lot of rain, but there was enough this afternoon that it might have made a difference on a regular grass field, whereas here it's pretty much business as usual.
The ball will skip, the ball will move, but the best thing about playing in these kinds of fields is you know where the seams are. You see a little seam here towards in front of the mound, but you know where the seams are because they're changing this out for lacrosse or whatever other sport. But if you know where you're at in the field, you can anticipate the bounce of the ball, and it's going to be a true bounce. It's not a rugged field. It's even. You're going to have a good natural bounce, and you should be able to play the ball cleanly. Just to anticipate it skip, especially in those hard line drives to the outfield.
Coaches, too, were pointing out that there are definitely a handful of sports where Hopkins and St. Louis Park have combined programs, too. They're obviously next door to each other, so it's been a friendly but really good rivalry in baseball because I think their programs in a lot of ways are similar. They're maybe not the first ones you think of, but they're very respected, very good, well-run teams. And they've had their moments where they've been in state tournaments and things like that too. So in that way, it's kind of a fun one. A lot of the kids know each other and train at the same places too.
100%. That the train at places is a big part. You see Pine Tar, you see Max Strength. These kids know each other really well because they played against each other since they were 9, 10, 11, and they train during the off season. They know the older kids who have gone on and graduated, who train at these facilities and played summer ball with these facilities and do the club ball, and they know who they are. They try to stay connected. Yes, it's friendly, but at this point in the season, you are very aggressive and you're trying to win for your school. You're trying to keep your team moving on, but these kids both know each other very well.
Take a quick timeout, and we will come back with the first pitch here. Section 6 4A baseball on CCX Sports. Welcome back here to Hopkins High School for the Section 6 4A baseball tournament winners bracket second round game. They'll be back in action Saturday in this tournament, allowing a little leeway for some rain if needed. And we do have a little bit of a chance of rain, as again it's been kind of on and off this afternoon. Nothing heavy. It seems all right at the moment. And we have every intention of getting this one in, too, of course, as we said on the turf. It shouldn't be much of an issue. And not much wind, as we saw on that graphic as well, which certainly is a good thing. There's a look at St. Louis Park's batting order. Grant Haggerty, the center fielder, leads it off. Then it's Mason Helfman, the catcher. Nicky Moran at third base. Cole Denham at first base. Marty Hurdy, the right fielder. Ryan Moran, the designated hitter. Malik Martin, the second baseman. Miles Youngroth, who pitched them to the win. And then it's Isaac Schulman. Here's the defense for Hopkins. Mauser, Lindstrom, Lerner, Tellier around the infield. And the first pitch swinging. Haggerty lifting this one out to short center, and it is going to drop in. Grant Haggerty with a leadoff single here for Park, facing Jay Mound as you get a look at the rest of the D there for Hopkins. Jay Mound's been kind of the number 2 guy all year, according to Coach Michalakis, and has had a good season. 5-2 record and a 1.96 ERA. He has worked 35 2/3 innings, 29 hits. He's just a sophomore, as you saw. 11 walks and 35 strikeouts. So Helfman stepping in. He's hitting .254 this year. Haggerty has 8 steals in 9 attempts this year. Also a team high 22 runs scored. So you like your leadoff guy on just like he got. Mound with a great breaking ball there.
Yeah, good to see a sophomore on the mound for in a playoff situation. Good effort for him. Good situation for him to develop, and of course put his team in a position to win and get some opportunities to show what he can do.
And with that last name, you almost kind of had to be a pitcher, right? Jay Mound.
I like his stirrups too. He's got the high socks. He's looking good. You don't see that often. All these kids wear the low pants. You don't really get to see their socks, but wearing the stirrups up, and I think they're actually stirrups are not one socks. I like that.
Helfman lifting this one down the right field line. Not going to be room to get to it there for Tellier as A lot of room and foul ground here. Those can turn into outs at this park more than quite a few of the high school fields, but that one was just too far for Van to run. Helfman leads their team in walks as well, so a good eye at the plate. High chopper to third. Oh, and it'll get through. Looked like Mauser was going to have a decent chance at that one, and instead it'll get right through him, so it's an E5. And the first two are aboard here for St. Louis Park. I don't know if I misjudged this one or he did, because it seemed like he was going to come up with it.
I think he for sure did. He was trying to figure out if he should go in and try and turn the double play or come in and get that out. And he was caught in between, and ball scoots under his glove. And now you got first and second here with the heart of the order with the sophomore up here at the plate.
Nicky Moran hitting .348 this year. A couple of home runs, 16 runs batted in. And he'll pop this one up. Infield fly called there, yep, as Max Lerner makes the grab for the Royals, and they get a quick out against the number 3 hitter after a little bit of a shaky start. And now Cole Denham will bat here for the Orioles. He's hitting .290 on the season, a team high 19 runs batted in. 4 doubles among his hits, another left-hand stick.
Huge out there for Hopkins. 3-hitter up with first and second out, nobody out. Big hitter at the plate, and they get that pop fly infield fly out.
Nice block on that one. Jason Mikalakis was talking about, he said, I don't, have real hard stats on it, but he said it feels like in these 7-inning high school games, the team that scores first must win 70-75% of the time. So he felt it was a good thing or a big thing to try and get off to a good start. Especially, like we said, with teams that maybe don't have like a huge amount of offense throughout their lineup.
Yeah, a lot of teams will stack the top half of their order and get those 3-4 hitters up early, which is typical. But in high school, you try to build a deep roster. But when you get 3 or 4 hitters that can hit the ball and play early in your lineup, move kids around the base paths, gives you an early lead. It's a huge advantage.
Comes back fastball, but missed away, and it's 3-0. Mound in danger of losing Denham here. That one is over for a strike. I guess a little bit of the challenge for St. Louis Park is to not be satisfied with knocking off Wayzata in that first game. You got to go, okay, turn the page, it's the next day.
Yeah, you gotta stay in that winner's bracket as much as you can in these section playoffs.
High chopper to first. They'll get the out. Does move both runners up. As Denham bouncing out. Hopkins will take that. I mean, yes, it moves the runners, but the number 4 hitter bouncing to first is for the second out. It was a big out to get for the Royals, and Marty Hurdy will be the batter.
Yeah, big back-to-back outs. Infield fly followed by a ground ball fielder's choice to get that second out and get yourself in a position to get out of the inning here after giving up the two first hitters on base is a good spot for Hopkins.
Hurdy a swing and a miss there. He's at .306 for the season. 9 runs batted in, 8 runs scored, a couple of doubles. Sharp breaking ball there, just missed. Mound back to working from the windup with runners at second and third here. That one is low. It skipped off the glove there, but not quite far enough away. Wyatt Peterson electing to try and snare that one with the glove rather than just let it bounce off his chest. And it did get a little bit away, but he did a pretty good job making sure he was on it. Oh, and Mound snares that one, and then a lob over to first base. Hard hit ball, but close enough to the pitcher, and Jay Mound helps his own cause right there. Park threatens but doesn't score in the first. No runs, 1 hit. There was 1 error and 2 left in scoring position for St. Louis Park because of this play right here. Boy, that one, if it gets by him, it's going to be through past the shortstop. Kind of a lollipop throw there. You might want to rethink that a little bit. I thought it was going to get away almost for a second. But so St. Louis Park unable to get one in the first despite a good threat. And now Hopkins will get their first crack with the bats. Max Lerner, their second baseman, will lead it off. Wyatt Peterson, the catcher, hits second. Then Dylan Lindstrom, the shortstop. Carl Sheeby is DHing tonight, their top pitcher. Ethan Sawatsky in center field. And it's Frank Mauser at third. And Tellier at first base, Chase Radel in left, and Joe Schaefer in right field for Hopkins. And defensively for Brian Kelly and the Orioles, Nicky Moran, Isaac Schulman, Malik Martin, and Cole Denham across the infield. Jungroth in the left field spot, Haggerty center, Hurdy in right. Helfman is the catcher. And doing the pitching for St. Louis Park is right-hander Logan O'Day. Saw him in the fall on their football team. He has got just a 1-1 record. He's pitched in 5 games, 3 of them starts. We're 15 in the third innings, allowing 15 walks, 10 strikeouts, and a 4.57 ERA. So they got kind of back from injury in that first game of the tournament. Jungroth, who had considered one of the top junior lefties in the state, but Coach Kelly was saying that was kind of the first game where he was like full clearance to pitch, and he ended up with a complete game. Struck out 5 against Wayzata.
Yeah, when you got a pitcher who's throwing strikes and getting outs against one of the best teams in the state, you let him roll. You take that win as much as you can. And with Logan here, it started off slow, but the past couple games he started to dial in, find that strike zone. And one of the things you learn as kids get older, it's not good enough to just throw strikes. You got to be able to know when to throw strikes and when not to throw strikes, and when to be able to throw strikes not close over the plate. You got to move it around. Don't let kids get comfortable in the zone or in the box. Move the ball around and own that strike zone.
Lerner stepping in. He's got a .293 average, 21 runs scored for the year, which is a high number. 11 walks as well, so kind of that prototypical leadoff guy. First pitch over for a strike. O'Day, another of those guys that does work from the stretch even with nobody on. Lerner hits it well to center, but it's going to hang up enough and be caught there by Haggerty. He got a good read on that one. I thought there was a chance I was going to fall in front of him, but he didn't overcommit, but got the glove down and makes the play. Boy, that's a big out to get on a really pretty well-hit ball.
Yeah, good read. Hard line drive off the barrel of the bat, but not hit hard enough to get over his head. So he came in and made a sliding catch to get that first out.
Wyatt Peterson, the hitter now for Hopkins, a .322 average for him, 3 doubles. 4 runs batted in. Coach Mikalakis was saying that he likes the way the bracket is set up now. There were some years, he said, where things were spread out more and teams that had one stud were able to throw them, maybe 3 times in the tournament. And that actually worked in Park's favor a few years back when they got to the tournament.
Yeah.
But he said it feels like a little bit more of a true test. You're not seeing just that one guy rolling through other teams.
No, I remember that. Even last year, the year before, they had one of the first round opening round on like the Saturday of the holiday weekend, and it was like, it's fun, but if you're out of town, it's you're not going to get people there, and kind of stretches out the tournament. This really condenses a team to be more strategic in how they approach their games during the tournament run.
And the part of the reason for that, it sounds like, too, was obviously you have to work around graduations. This one is hit well to the opposite field. It got turned around, and then it's dropped. Jungroth unable to hang on to it. And it will be Peterson into second on a 2-base error there. He definitely got fooled a little bit at first, but then he seemed to be settled in and ready to make the catch, and then just couldn't squeeze it.
Yeah, he got turned around a little bit, but got his feet under it and just misplayed the ball at the last second. Rolls right off the inside of his glove.
Got a courtesy runner at first base. Coming in for Hopkins is Liam Dolly. So Dylan Lindstrom will be the batter here for the Royals. Runner at second and 1 out. So each team committing an error in their half of the first. An infield bouncer that went past Mauser, the third baseman for Hopkins, and then Jungroth, the fielder, getting turned around a little and then just misjudging it at the last second. Lindstrom a .317 average this year, 1 homer, 13 runs batted in. Yeah, both teams just have 2 home runs this year, which, you might say that's kind of a low total, but that's kind of what the coaches are saying, that a lot of teams seem to be like that right now. Not a lot of real big sluggers. Although I can remember a time when it was relatively rare to see high school, to see home runs hit. So that's almost kind of back to that a little bit. Obviously a lot depends on the size of your park too. Lindstrom able to lay off that one.
Yeah, it is fun to see a shift in, all kids want to try and hit home runs, but really what you teach kids when they're younger is hit line drives. If you get out hitting a line drive, tip your cap, say move on. You did what you can.
There's ball 4. Lindstrom working out a walk, so now runners at first and second and 1 out. And Carl Sheeby will be the hitter. Sheeby hitting .346, 8 runs batted in. He hasn't had nearly as many at bats because he's been one of their main pitchers, and maybe not necessarily using him as a hitter in all those games. So, but he's done well when he's been at the plate and in there as the DH today. Hits this one hard out to center, but Haggerty camping underneath it and hits the cutoff and will keep the runners directly in place. So a couple good plays by your center fielder Haggerty to give the first 2 outs of the game, and Ethan Sawatsky will be the hitter now for Hopkins. Those are outs, but if you're O'Day, maybe a little concerned on a couple balls being stung pretty well against you.
He's got 20, 30 feet to work with. They're not hitting it far enough. Line drives to your outfielders are good until they start hitting over their head. That's where you start to get concerned. But throw strikes, let them put the ball in play and get outs. Trust your defense.
Sawatsky a .317 batting average this year, 10 runs scored. He's driven in 11, 1 home run to his credit, a couple of doubles. Takes that one for a ball. The top of the first and the bottom of the first kind of shaping up in a similar fashion. We'll see if Hopkins also ends up stranding these runners or like Park did, or if they can push them, 1 or 2 of them across. Slow breaking ball there is over for a strike.
Yeah, he seems to have much better control over his pitches this outing, and that's what I've heard for the past couple outings. I saw him earlier in the year, and he was high in the zone, but this game he seems to be finding the zone pretty well.
Pop foul and out of play.
There's a bit of confidence when you start throwing strikes and you can get your defense to make the plays. You feel more comfortable throwing strikes that you don't have to stay close to the outside, stay way low. You're throwing strikes that they can hit, but they're not right down the middle.
That one is up high. So the count will run full here to Sawatsky for Hopkins. Royals get a chance to get themselves moving a little bit here and try and score on a base hit. And it's a called third strike, and O'Day gets out of the inning. Sawatsky caught looking, and just like Park, the Royals threaten but don't score. No runs, no hits. There was 1 error and 2 left on. After 1 inning complete, we are scoreless here at Hopkins.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back here to Hopkins along with Drew Pio. I'm Jay Wilcox. It's St. Louis Park nothing, Hopkins nothing here. Section 6-4A baseball, second round game, winner's bracket play here. Ryan Moran leading off the top of the second here for Park against Jay Mound. Big swing and a miss at a fastball. Moran hitting .241 this season. Has scored 12 runs, driven in 4. Mound having to chase that one down a little bit on the return, but he got it in there for a strike. A little bit of contrast. He's, O'Day's much bigger pitcher, but Mound actually throws harder. That one just missed.
Yeah, Mound has a quick windup, very quick. And O'Day's kind of a slower approach to the mound, but Mound's having a good start.
Swing and a miss, and Moran down on strikes to begin the second. First strikeout of the game for Jay Mound. Malik Martin will be the hitter.
Got him off balance, ahead of that pitch on the outside part of the plate. Good start to the second inning here for Hopkins.
Martin hitting .220 this year. Something in his eye here. It's one thing we haven't, knock on wood, but not many bugs around yet, which is another good reason for a good night for baseball here. Swing and a miss there.
Yeah, this is the best time of season for baseball. It's not too cold, not too hot. As long as it's dry and it's not too windy, there's no bugs. It's great.
Had him dancing out of the way of that one. And this one smoked out to center and will be in for a base hit. Martin with the second hit of the game for St. Louis Park. So he drives that single into center, and Miles Jungroth will be the batter.
That's baseball for you. Sheeby hits a line drive to the center fielder. Center fielder makes a good play in the bottom half of the first. Malik hits a little line drive in front of the center fielder and gets on base. Sometimes you hit it where they aren't. Sometimes you hit it where they are. Whatever you can do to get on base.
And that one just foul past third, as he did a good job waiting back on it. Jungroth hitting .231 this year. 5 runs batted in. As we said, he pitched them to the win in that first round. Rip and a miss. Sharp breaking ball there from Mound, and he's quickly ahead in the count. Martin has stolen 3 bases this year. Doesn't look like Park runs a whole lot overall. Back to the pitcher. Mound sails his throw. Then the throw to first base is in time. They do not get the lead runner with an errant throw, but then they do get the out at first.
Saw the same thing in the first inning by the pitcher there. Threw kind of a lob ball over the first baseman. Did the same thing here, the shortstop. You want to make a good, strong throw to your shortstop. Give him time to make the play. Smart play by the shortstop to not try and force anything. Get that one out over at first base so you don't put yourself in a situation where you got first and second with only one out. You now have 2 outs. You can get out of the inning with one pitcher.
Great pick at first base, too. That throw was low. So one of the very unusual plays, they get it 1-6-3 on the putout. Don't get the lead guy. And now Isaac Schulman, the number 9 hitter, stepping in for Park with a runner at second and 2 outs. Yeah, that's one thing. Jay Mound, got to figure they'll talk with him a little bit about that. You got to be willing to let the ball go. It was one thing on a lob to first when the runner was, just kind of trotting down the line, but on a play like that, you got to throw it,
especially when
not lob it.
There's timing with your middle infielder too. Not only like trying to get the out at first, but also timing with your middle infielder getting to second base.
Fouled off the catcher there. Schulman, 182 average this year. 6 runs scored. He's knocked in 5. Close one there, taken for a ball. Mound would love to get the number 9 hitter here and not have to face Haggerty till the next inning. In the dirt, Peterson digs it out. Or dirt maybe isn't the right term, I guess, on this field, but you know what I mean.
Yes. You saw the tire shreds.
That one is down low. Count running full here to the Orioles infielder Schulman, or shortstop. 2 out and a runner on second. Just got a piece of that one. Fastball misses up, and Schulman able to work out a walk. So now first and second and 2 outs, and they turn it over to the top of the order. Here's Grant Haggerty will step in. Haggerty singled in the first. So both pitchers have kind of had some long innings a little bit, even though at this point we're still 0-0, but they're not just breezing through.
Yeah, big spot here early in the game. Top of the order with first and second on. 2 outs, though.
That one is over for a strike. And comes back breaking ball, and that one is over as well. 1-2. Mound try not to let it phase him that he lost that last hitter to walk.
Tough play.
Chopper, first base. Here's the flip, and not going to get him. Be an infield hit. It's a long run for the pitcher, and not really misplayed or anything, but just couldn't get him.
Yeah, just a slow chopper down the first baseline. Good speed at the top of the order. Haggerty can run the bases well. Very close play. Looks like he beat it. And good heads-up play there by the pitcher to not dwell on not getting the out and not letting the runner from third kind of take an early aggressive run towards home plate.
Yeah, with 2 outs there, you might have an idea about just keep on going. And
yeah,
Hopkins
you're moving when the
ready.
ball's put in play. You're moving when the ball's put in play. With 2 outs, you got to move, and that's kind of the thing there. You want to be aggressive, especially when the ball's on the other side of the field. You got to get more aggressive on the other side of the base paths.
Peterson's going to come out and talk to his pitcher here. Helfman reached on an error. He hit that chopper to third that was kind of misjudged a little bit by Mauser. And
got a lot of power here. This guy's he can hit the ball hard. When he squares the ball up, it will go. His older brother hit a lot of home runs for Park over the years, and now he's in the shoes. And big spot here for him with 2 outs in the second inning with the bases loaded.
as I recall, he's a pretty good football player too.
Yep, tough guy.
Missed a little high with that one, 1-0. Boy, a key spot this early in the game. It's the top of the second, and we're still 0-0, but bases full and 2 outs. If Helfman wins it, they could go up by a couple, 2-3 runs. If Mound can win this battle, then we'll stay at zeros. That one is low, and Peterson has to block it. So 2-0, and of course, nowhere to put him here. Bases are loaded.
The challenge is when you play in section baseball, you burned your #1 pitcher last night. You are getting deep into the bullpen if they have to go to their second or third pitcher here.
Skies this one out to center field, but it's going to be playable and caught. So hit it quite a ways, but got under it a bit. And the Orioles with another big threat in the second, but they don't score. No runs, 2 hits. They strand 3. We go to the bottom half of inning number 2. We are at 0-0 here, Park and Hopkins.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back. Not as warm maybe as it is sometimes for section baseball, but turning into a pretty decent night to watch. And I understand they weren't charging admission for the first couple rounds of section play this year, in this section anyway, which I think is maybe a change from what it's been. And then on the weekend they will start to charge when all the games move here. There's Logan O'Day, who had a couple of runners reach in the first inning, an error and a walk, but got out of trouble. And so we are still at 0-0, even though both teams have had some base runners. Frank Mauser stepping in to lead off the second for Hopkins. He's hitting .222 this season. Has scored 12 runs, which is second on their team, and 6 runs batted in. Takes that one for a ball. That one is over for a strike. Misses wide with that one. Hopkins did win the regular season meeting, but had to rally to do so, and won 7-5 over at Dakota Park. You kind of, like we were talking earlier, you kind of, both these teams, it's like they're good enough to get anybody trouble, but they're not so good that they can, have an off night and still win really either. So it's kind of an interesting And I think that's true of quite a few of the teams in this section. Look at a team like Armstrong. They beat some of the better teams in this section, but kind of had a so-so conference schedule in the Northwest Suburban, so they're seated down there at number 6.
Yeah, it's baseball. It's high school baseball. You never know what you're going to get, and unless you have a team that has 13, 14, 15 kids that are legit top-of-the-line players. But a lot of these teams, they have 6, 7, and then they try and fill in the back end with kids who are younger, give them a chance to grow the program. And that's what, Park dealt with all year. They were up on Benilde late in the game a couple times, and they lost the lead in a mental error, an error, and they weren't able to hold on. And that was just the theme throughout the season. And when you're dealing with injuries, that's just part of the game.
3-2 count here to Mauser, leading off the bottom of the second for Hopkins. And good at bat as he'll take a walk. O'Day trying to get him to chase there on 3-2, but he wouldn't go for it, so leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, good at bat to take that breaking ball in a 3-2 count. Don't bite on it. Get that leadoff runner down to first base, whatever you can do.
Van Tellier will be the batter here for Hopkins. Hitting .273 on the year, 6 runs batted in, has 3 doubles. Missed with that one, it's 1-0. Mauser has stolen 3 bases this year. Boy, Hopkins looks like they run a lot more than St. Louis Park based on the numbers here. Got a couple of guys in double figures in steals. Oh, went away with that one. O'Day seems to be having a little more trouble with his location here in the second inning. Let's see, did he swing at this one? They say no. I would beg to differ, but as with the Orioles bench, we're kind of near there. I think he definitely went.
Yeah, it's right there. I think he went, but it's so tough when you only have 2 umpires.
And that one taken outside for a ball and another walk. So first 2 aboard via free passes here in the second, and have a little conference here. And Coach Kelly, I don't think he was waving somebody in, but I think he was saying speed up your you're warming up down there.
Warming up down there, yeah. You're in a tough spot here with nobody out, first and second on. Looks like a Martinson.
Looks like it, yeah. I would have to think maybe to a certain extent, one of the things he's saying is, you got to trust your stuff here, Logan. It's hard to tell sometimes if somebody's just, trying to pick corners too much, or they just playing or having trouble throwing it where they want to.
100%. I think the other thing you gotta remind your pitcher and your kids is, hey, get these kids to hit ground balls. You get 1 ground ball here, you could turn it up a play pretty easily. Get a ground ball, hard hit ball to Nick Moran and throw over first, get 2 outs. All of a sudden it's a different ball game. But here you're in a different spot, and see if Hopkins does something special and tries to bunt the runners over with nobody out.
Left fielder Chase Riddell, a hitter. He's only had 5 at bats, 1 for 5. Squares, but then takes it for a ball. He's the number 8 hitter in the order. So I don't think it'd be too big of a surprise if they do have him bunting here, especially considering he hasn't been up much this year on the varsity level. And this time took it for a strike.
And even just to read that the third baseman's not coming in, so you're not going to be able to steal third base there. He's staying home, so you're not going to get an easy steal. So they got to lay the bunt down. The pitcher's got to cover the third baseline.
Takes it for a ball. Runner is going to third. A one-hop throw. He came off the bag and he's out. Mauser overslid third. He was going to be safe, but then was tagged out there by Nicky Moran. Well, this is one that Hopkins would like to have back. As you see, he's clearly in, but he couldn't hang on to the bag, and a good call and a good play by the third baseman to just stick that tag on him.
That's just little things that kids learn when they're early is, yeah, he didn't get the ball clean. You feel the ball cleanly. It wasn't a good throw to third base, but what Nicky Moran did there was he kept his foot on the outside of third base so the runner could not catch the bag with his back foot, and his foot slid by the bag, and he was easily able to take him out and get that out.
Grounder up the middle. Gonna have to hurry here then. It is nicely done. So 2 gone now, but Tellier does move over to third. A good job charging that ball by Schulman. And again, this playing on this turf, that's I think an easier play than it maybe would have been on some fields.
Yeah, that ball would catch a lip, catch a rough spot in the dirt. You never know where it's going to go, but when it's turf, you know exactly where that ball is going to go for the most part, and it's easier to play.
And it tends to get to you a little bit quicker too, so you're not caught playing too far back. There's a strike to Schaefer. Schaefer hitting .237 this year, 6 runs batted in. He has 3 doubles, so he's in the number 9 spot, but a little bit of pop. Boy, that out at third is just enormous.
Huge, because if he's safe there, he got second and third with nobody out. It's a different ball game. You got wet turf, you're going to slide through that.
Driven foul down the right field side toward the bullpen there. And long run, but they can't get it. Schaefer stays alive for Hopkins. Boy, it's already looking like it's going to come down to who comes through in these spots with runners in scoring position, because it's been every inning so far has been like this.
Yeah, it's not only going to be who's hitting, but who's going to be able to pitch. Their third, fourth, fifth pitchers are going to be clutch in this part of the season for them, and that's what you work on early in the season. Is you try to figure out what your roster has. You don't want to just go with your 1 and 2 all season long, because that's fun. But when you get to playoffs, if you run into one bump, you got to go to 3, 4, 5 pitchers, and if you don't have that figured out, you're in a tough spot.
Chopper to third. It is fair. Long throw, but a nice one-hopper, and they get Schaefer there again. The turf aids that one for sure. No runs, no hits, no errors. There was 1 left over at third base. We've played 2 full innings. It is 0-0. St. Louis Park and Hopkins on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
Welcome back. A little bit of moisture here this evening here, but St. Louis Park and Hopkins scoreless heading to the third. Nicky Moran leading it off here in the third for St. Louis Park against Jay Mound. First pitch over for a strike. Moran popped up to the second baseman his first time up. And let's see, did he swing at this one? No.
Fair. Fair.
It had some similarity to that first one. I think it probably was a swing too, but that's all right.
Nick's an aggressive swinger. If he's going after it, he's going after it.
2-1 as he laid off that breaking ball. And then the fastball misses up high. It's been solid starts for both pitchers, but at the same time, they've really had to work. It hasn't been like, where they're just mowing through them. A lot of long counts.
Yeah, both have been in tough spots, but both have gotten out of each of their tough spots. So, third inning, 0-0. Good start to this game.
And that's ball 4. Moran will draw a leadoff walk. Second walk issued by Mound, and Cole Denham will be the hitter. Pounded to first off the glove. He'll still have time to make the play, though. Good recovery there by Kelly as he's able to get the out. That's where you're glad you're playing first base. You don't have to worry about making a throw there, but he did a good job. Ball was hit pretty hard.
Yeah, good job to get his glove on it. If he makes that play, it's a really tough play. To field it at first, throw it down to second, get back and cover first. Make sure you get that first out, especially when there's nobody out in the inning. Get that first out. It's okay with the runner down in scoring position. Don't put yourself in danger of first and third, first and second, nobody out.
Yeah, you're hoping to get 2 there, but you have
really
to.
Tough play.
Yeah, you have to feel pretty good to get that out at all after a hard hit ball. Marty Hurdy is the batter. He hit that ball pretty well. That hard 1 or 2 hopper back to the pitcher, so Mound was able to get him out, but he actually did strike the ball pretty well. So they get a runner to second with 1 out this time, which we've kind of had a mixture of when these runners have been in scoring position for both teams. Nice breaking ball there and a big rip and a miss. Oh, and that one hits him in the back. Got away from him there. Obviously wasn't hoping for that in that spot, as Hurdy was down in the count, but then takes one and will head to first base, and Ryan Moran will be the batter.
Yeah, it's the best spot to take it. Breaking ball where you got a little muscle in the back. Nothing hurt. Get down to first base.
Moran struck out his first time up, but bats here with a couple on and 1 out. Lofting this one out to center field. And there's Bluff a tag, but no chance really to move up on that one, as Sawatsky got underneath it for out number 2, and Malik Martin will be the hitter now for the Orioles. Martin had a single his first time up. Swing and a miss there.
Important here with 2 outs, you want to get a really good aggressive lead off second base. So anything hit to the outfield, you're scoring for sure.
Knocked down to second. And Lerner flips to first, and Martin is out. The Orioles are done in the third. No runs, no hits. They leave a couple more. And we go to the bottom half of inning number 3. We are still scoreless here in the Section 6 4A tournament.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there. Because connected, we all do better.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back here to Hopkins. We go to the bottom of the third. Hasn't necessarily been smooth sailing for that guy, Logan O'Day, but he is not allowed to hit yet. He has walked 3 hitters, though, in the first 2 innings. And again, both pitchers have had to work out of some trouble. They're not really getting hit hard, but at the same time, they're not dominating either. I mean, I think both teams probably feel like, gosh, we should be breaking through and getting something here. Max Lerner leading off the bottom of the third for Hopkins, the top of the order for them. He flied to center his first time up, or actually it was more of a liner that Hagerty came in and made a nice catch on. There's a strike.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Jay, neither pitcher is really hammering the strike zone, owning strike after strike after strike. They're kind of putting themselves in position to be at risk, but they're getting the key outs when they need to, and that's why we're here in the bottom of the third, 0-0.
Lerner drops down a bunt. Going to be a tough play, and no chance. He beats it out. I was just thinking on turf, it's a little bit harder to deaden the ball enough, but he did exactly that, and with Moran playing back, he had really no chance to get him.
Yeah, nice job not to try and rush that throw to first base. He had no chance. He still good, strong throw over there to let him know that he's going to try and make the play, but didn't rush it and try and throw it in the dirt. Especially with a fast runner like Lerner on the base paths, you don't want to take too many risks.
I mentioned that Hopkins runs more than Park. Lerner 16 steals to lead their team, which is a pretty high number for this length of a high school season.
Yeah, what do they play? 15, 20 games? I mean, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good clip for a stolen base per game, pretty much.
And this game has the feel of one that you might need to do something to get things going. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run. He is going. Throw down a one-hopper. Close, but he's safe. Lerner will swipe second. I don't think he got the greatest jump ever, but he's still just able to beat that throw, the one-hop throw coming in from Helfman.
Yeah, good strong throw. On turf, you really want to skip that ball because the ball will pick up a little velocity once it hits that turf. But Lerner, good speed. I think he learns that from his family. Watching his dad play baseball and his family play baseball, you learn tendencies of pitchers. You get a little bit of an extra jump from the pitcher's tendencies, and that's what puts him in a position to get a good stolen base there.
So Peterson hitting with a runner in scoring position and nobody out, and he is ahead in the count here. O'Day in danger of walking him, and instead he's going to knock one up the middle. Nice backhand play. The throw to first, not in time. Lerner over to third. It's an infield hit as Peterson diving to beat that one out, despite a nice backhand play there by Martin, the second baseman. Just couldn't quite get enough on that one to get him out.
Yeah, good hustle. Nice play here by Malik to grab that ball. Just not hit hard enough for him to have a good strong play over first base, and the runner beats the throw, gets over to first base, and runner over at third base, first and third, nobody out here. Big spot for Hopkins with the heart of their order coming up.
Dally will come in to run for him. It looked like Peterson was, hopefully didn't hurt his left hand or wrist there. I'm still not sure I love that diving in rather than just running hard through the base there, but he made it. So Lindstrom hitting, runners at the corners, nobody out. We've had some good threats. This one might be the best we've had yet, and especially where they are in the order, number 3 hitter. Lindstrom walked his first time up. I think St. Louis Park, be interesting to see what they do if the runner does start here. Couple of steals for Dolly this year. Hit hard but fouled on the third baseline.
Nice play by the third base coach there. He still got it. He's still got it.
Their players love that.
Kids are happy. Proud of them.
St. Louis Park either changing or clarifying what they want to do here defensively.
I think they saw in that first pitch the runner was not moving, which isn't surprising with nobody out.
Big cut and a miss by Lindstrom there.
Now you would think they'd put him in motion. You got to expect a breaking ball, something low in the turf. Well, these next couple pitches, you would expect him to be moving, but
is not on this one. It's popped to short center, or actually edge of the outfield, and will be caught. Shortstop Schulman drifting back. That's a big out there. It's still only the first out, but it's one against a good hitter, and Shebe will be the batter for Hopkins.
yeah, with your cleanup hitter, you expect him to maybe pitch around, see what happens here, put the runner in motion. A lot of things could happen here. Big spot, one out.
Shebe hit the ball fairly deep, but Hagerty, the center fielder, hauling it in. Takes that one way up high. And that one low and away. Popping it down the right field line and get out of play. Hopkins trying to break this deadlock here. Bottom of the third. Their cleanup man up, Shebe. Runners at the corners and one out. Ooh, he went after a high one there. Drives it foul down the right field line. That one I think would have been ball 3.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the book on him, is stay up in the zone. That first ball he took was up in the zone across the Royals, and he's chased a couple. Now he's 2-2 in the count, and I would assume to either go down and out with a breaking ball or stay up by the chest. Challenge with this kind of hitter, though, if he reads it and it stays up in the zone, he gets a barrel of the bat up in the zone. It's going to go.
Popping this one up again, and will again get out of play. A lot of activity there for Denham, running over and having a look again. Another 2-2 offering coming from O'Day. Runner from first is going. Pitch way high and in, and Valley will take second.
Biggest pitch of the game right here.
And driving it to short center, it's going to drop in for a hit. One run will score. I think they'll hold that second runner as he held up just a little bit to make sure it wasn't caught. But Hopkins gets on the board. Sheeby didn't hit it all that hard. It seemed like it was in on his hands a little bit, but he got enough of it to get it through the infield and drive in the first run of the game.
Yeah, with 2 strikes, that's what you want to do. You know, put that ball in the play. It's on the inside part of the barrel, but he fists it out to center field, and the runner at second base makes a smart play. You don't want to get caught up in the double play because no matter what happens there with the runner, if you get caught up and it's a double play, that run does not count. So smart play to make sure you don't get doubled up and let that first run of the game come across the plate for Hopkins here.
Sheeby will be run for by Colin Froderman. So runners at the corners here. Again with 1 out, 1 run now in. Ethan Sawatsky is the batter, took a called third strike. And this is not a courtesy runner situation. He's running a pinch runner. So I don't know if that's an indication that maybe they might start that runner from first as well, but probably a little bit quicker guy. And you might as well take advantage of the substitution. I mean, we're already to the 3rd inning, and obviously he can re-enter. Not going on that first pitch, and it's high and in. And that one is outside. O'Day kind of struggling to put it where he wants to right now. Hopkins trying to break this one open a little bit. They've got 1 on the board and runners at the corners and 1 out. And that one misses inside, so 3-0.
You expect a take here, no stolen base opportunity here. You just want to make sure he throws a strike, get your hitter in position. You get a 3-1 count. Throw a strike across the plate.
And that one is way up and in, and Sawatsky will draw a walk, and going to be a visit here from Coach Kelly. And you get in these playoff situations, you kind of have to have a little bit of a short leash here. I mean, yeah, they're in the winner's bracket, so they won't be out even if they lose tonight, and they are going to lift O'Day. They just seem to be kind of struggling to find it, and Martinson will come in to replace him. So O'Day has kept it close, but he's kind of had trouble putting the ball where he wants it. Martinson in. We'll take a break and come back with more baseball here in the bottom of the 3rd. Hopkins leading at 1-0.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back. O'Day able to just get 2 1/3 out of him as he's kind of in and out of trouble. They didn't actually have any hits until this inning, but got 3, and now it's Jacob Martinson coming in. He has pitched 20 2/3 innings this year, almost entirely in relief. He's 2-2. 3.05 earned run average. Fairly high number of walks. He has walked 26 in those 20 2/3 innings and 23 strikeouts. So bases loaded for Hopkins, 1 out, 1 run is in, and Frank Mauser is the hitter. And we instantly see that Martinson throws much harder than O'Day. The hitter's probably kind of like, oh, okay.
Change the pace, yep.
That one blocked there by Helfman. Hard breaking ball. Way up high there. Mauser, you want to have a good at bat here. I mean, certainly you don't come up thinking, boy, I'd really love to walk. But at the same time, if that's what presents itself, if you're a good team player, that's what you'll take.
Yeah, he's got to throw strikes. Got to make him throw strikes, especially coming in with the bases loaded and down 1-0 in a tough spot. Got to make him throw strikes, and he throws hard. If you get a good strike down the plate, you rip it.
Lifting this one out to right field. Catch made. They are sending the runner to the plate. Here's the throw. It's a little bit wide, and the run will score. Seemed like perhaps a bit of a gamble there, as it wasn't all that deep, but Daly tagging and is sent home, and he will make it. So it's a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, not a very deep ball.
Yeah, I was a little surprised he was coming here.
Good strong throw, just a little wide of the plate.
Yeah, it would have been close if had it been right on, but it obviously wasn't, and that's what you're kind of banking on if you're Hopkins. Make him make a perfect throw.
Yep, force the issue.
Van Tellier will be the batter. He walked his first time up.
And a little thing, good base running. The behind runners, the runners behind also both moved up, so you got second and third, not first and second. No force out. Run here makes it 4-0 for a hit.
And I was just going to say, a pass ball or wild pitch also could be a problem, and it's a run scored for Hopkins as Froderman comes in. Zawatsky moving over to third. And the lead now grows to 3-0, and they still have a runner at third with 2 outs. That one is over for a strike. And another one will get away, and another run will score. As Sawatsky trots in. We said Martinson had kind of had trouble with walks this year, and he's been kind of all over the place since coming in. And it's 4-0. The Orioles a little discouraged at the moment, but still plenty of ball game to go.
Yeah, it's a tough thing with runners on. That's the little things we talked about, moving the runners up on a sac fly. First and second, they moved up to second and third, and here are 2 wild pitches, and all of a sudden it's 4-0.
And that one high and in, and it's a walk. So Hopkins looking to restart a rally here with 2 outs now. They've already put 4 across, and Chase Rado will be the batter. Tellier at first base. Thought for a moment that Tellier was taken off there. He got a pretty good break, but decided not to go through with it. He does have 4 steals this year. There's a swing and a miss. Runner is going this time. Popped up. Ooh. Fighting it a little bit there, but Denham stays with it and will make the catch for the out. But it's a big inning for Hopkins as they break through with 4 runs in the inning on 3 base hits. Then 1 left the board. After 3 full, Hopkins now leading at 4-0.
At Top Line Financial Credit Union, We love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Top Line member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Jay Mound now staked to a 4-0 lead for Hopkins as we go to the top of the fourth. The 8, 9, and 1 spots coming up for St. Louis Park. Miles Jungroth leading it off. Mound has kind of been in and out of trouble, just like O'Day was for St. Louis Park. But he's managed to keep the zeros on the board, but it has been not all smooth sailing for sure. Jungroth had that one that turned into a very interesting one where he bounced back to the pitcher who threw to second but threw too high. They didn't get the lead runner, but then they still were able to get the out at first. And pitcher covering. This time he'll win the race. As a nice little flip there, getting it over to Mound, and one gone. Isaac Schulman will be the hitter.
Yeah, good instinct right off the mound by Mound to get over there. Knows right away. Ball's hit to the right side. Even if you're not going to get the ball, you got to get over there and let your infielders know that you will be there if they need to flip you the ball. And in that case, he was there.
Chopper to third. Long throw, and there's that one hop throw on the turf. And 5-3 on the put out there as Mauser, I'm sure he was glad to get another one. He had that one earlier where it just, kind of an in-between bouncer that he didn't handle real well, and he made that play. And Grant Hagerty will hit now for Park.
Yeah, good patience, knowing he has time here. He's got time to, that ball's hit hard on the ground, but he's got time to take a step back, field it behind third base, and throw it to first base, get the out.
Another chopper to first. Boy, this is the easiest inning anybody's had so far. 1, 2, 3, 4th for Mound. No runs, no hits, no one left. We go to the bottom of 4. 4-0 Hopkins.
In 1935, Top Line Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Top Line Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back. St. Louis Park facing a deficit here after they upset top seed Wayzata in the first round, down 4-0 after Hopkins got 4 in the third. There's a look at Jacob Martinson, who came on in relief in that inning, and kind of a mixed bag. He had a couple of wild pitches that led to runs that ended up being charged to O'Day, but Joe Schaefer will lead off the fourth inning for Hopkins, the number 9 hitter in their order. And a rip and a miss. Schaefer bounced to third in his first at bat, which came against the Orioles starting pitcher, of course, and O'Day. And hits this one well into left field. A solid line drive single here to lead off the fourth. We've not really had all that many like clean base hit type things. We got some walks, a hit by pitch, a couple of errors mixed in, you know, a few line drive hits, but not a ton.
I'd say that's probably the best ball hit we've seen all night. That's squared up. Not too big of a swing, but big enough to put it over the shortstop and third base and get a leadoff single here to start out the inning for the Royals.
Schaefer has stolen 7 bases this season. Max Lerner is the batter. He had a bunt single to start the third. It was the first base hit of the game for Hopkins. Looks at a ball here. That one is inside, 2-0. That one is over for a strike. Let's see, did he go after this one? Yes, this one is a swing.
You get that one.
Lerner wasn't so sure on that one, but
I think he held up, but
yeah, more so than the other two, I thought, actually, but
but it is what it is. You can't argue. It's the call.
Runner is going. Here's the throw down. Did he get him? Yes. Nice tag by Schulman on the one-hop throw. And a good strong throw. I was just thinking Martinson might be a little bit harder to run on because he has a pretty compact motion and he also throws harder. And they are able to get Schaefer. Helfman, one-hop throw, but a really nice tag, too.
And he scoop and tag right on the hip. Got him.
And Lerner, a swing and a miss, and down he goes on strikes.
Changes the dynamic of the inning significantly there in the past 2 pitches there. You get a stolen base. The runner's thrown out at second and a strikeout just like that. They're 2 outs, 1 out away from getting out of this inning.
Peterson will be the batter now for Hopkins. Takes that one for a ball. He reached on an error the first time up and then singled and scored in the third. An infield hit. That one missing in, 3-0. And that one is over for a strike. And strike 2 now. Count running full here to Peterson. And he stings this one into center field for a base hit. Peterson delivering a 2-out single, and Dylan Lindstrom will bat now for Hopkins. And again, they will run for him with Dowley at first base.
Good solid contact there with 2 outs, or 2 strikes to put that ball hard line drive up the middle. See if they can do something here with 2 outs.
Helfman digging that one out. Driven out to center field and well hit, but it's going to stay in the park. Haggerty over to make the catch. Lindstrom is out. Royals are done in the 4th. No runs, 2 hits. They strand 1. And we have completed 4 innings here in the Section 6 4A winners bracket. Hopkins leading Park 4-0.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
Hopkins with the lead here as we head to inning number 5. Mason Helfman stepping in to lead it off for St. Louis Park, and first pitch over for a strike. Jay Mound, I think they've had some activity in the pen, but that really quick 4th inning probably earned him another inning at least here, depending on how it goes. But high chopper here down to second. Lerner up with it and throws him out. 1 gone here in the 5th.
Yeah, you definitely take outs when you can, and when you have a quick inning like that they had in the 4th, you let him go back out there and see what he can do here. If he gets in trouble, they'll probably have a short leash, but you want to keep these arms fresh. Don't go into the bullpen too far if you don't need to.
Nicky Moran, who walked last time up. First pitch, a strike. That one's a ball. Got to give you a little confidence too when your team scored those 4 runs for you. I mean, you know now that any one mistake isn't going to be the end of the world here. You can kind of be aggressive and come after them even a little more.
Yeah, the first couple innings he was trying to just not give up a run because he wanted to keep his team in front. But when your team goes out and puts up 4 runs, a couple scrappy runs, you're in a little bit of a safer spot.
Hard hit ball, but at the shortstop and thrown out there. Nice play by Lindstrom. That one had a lot on it. It was hit hard, but a 1 hopper for out number 2, and Cole Denham will be the batter.
Yeah, Nicky can hit the ball really hard, and he did there. He squared that ball up, just unfortunately kept it down on the ground and to the shortstop. Balls hit hard like that, and the shortstop comes up with a clean. You have plenty of time to get that ball over to first base.
I think Lindstrom would admit that ball got on him in a hurry. I mean, it was not an easy play, even though he didn't have to move very far.
Yeah, even though he's a sophomore, they know who he is. They know he's their 3-hitter. He can hit the ball hard. He did there. He just unfortunately hit it down into the ground, and shortstop made a good play.
Denham has hit the ball to the first baseman both his first 2 times up. Swing and a miss here. My Mound would love to have another quick 1-2-3 inning.
Yeah, you can get through the heart of any order in high school baseball here. 1, 2, 3. You're doing a good job.
Another one low. So 3-1 to Denham. Purdy waiting on deck here for St. Louis Park. They're still very much in striking distance, but we're getting late enough in the game that can't afford to have too many more quick innings like that. He hits it to first again, and again it is handled. It's been a busy evening over there at first base for Teller, and he makes the play. So a 1-2-3-5, no runs, no hits, and no one left. We go to the bottom of 5. Hopkins in command at 4-0.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there. Because connected, we all do better.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
Welcome back here to Hopkins High School, Section 6 4A baseball winners bracket game, second round, with Hopkins leading St. Louis Park 4-0 after Park had upset top seed Wayzata in the opening round, and Hopkins got by Minneapolis Southwest in a 1-run win. All their runs coming in the third inning. Martinson out there on the hill again as Shebe will bat here leading off the fifth. Shebe last time up had a single and then was run for, but he comes back in as the DH here in this to start the fifth. Last inning, Royals got a couple of hits, but then a caught stealing really helped St. Louis Park get out of that inning. And here's a little tapper to second. Shebe is out 4-3 to begin the fifth. Sawatsky will be the batter now for Hopkins.
Good field awareness and patience there by Martin to know that ball's not hit too hard, but it's hit right at him. He's got time to catch it on 2-3 hops, field it cleanly, and get a good quick throw over to first base. Doesn't have to rush it. Got that first out.
I admit I was fooled a little bit by the sound of that one. I thought he had hit it a little bit better than what he did. It didn't really have all that much on it. Sawatsky walked and came around to score in that big 4-run third. Driving that one down the line and right, and an effort but couldn't quite get it.
Tough play, and that's just, you know, playing different fields, knowing your surroundings. And Park, that's probably out of play or on the warning track. There you have an extra 10, 15 feet, and you know, just wasn't able to feel. That's the tough thing about these fields that are all turf. They don't actually have a true warning track, so you don't know where you're at in the field. You know, when you play in a field with dirt warning tracks, you feel that change in the turf to dirt. But that was just a tough play. Long way to go to get that foul ball.
One and two now to Sawatsky. And that'll be a called third strike as Martinson gets his second strikeout, and Mauser will be the hitter. We've had a lot of long innings now. As the game has progressed, we've started to have a few more quicker ones. Mauser will be the hitter.
Little backdoor breaking ball up and in. Caught him off balance and got the call.
Mauser at a walk his first time up, and then a sacrifice fly last time around.
It's okay to add those balls in the turf to the backstop when nobody's on base. When you come in with the bases loaded or runners on second and third, that's a different ball game, and that's unfortunately what happened to Martinson earlier in the game, and that's why a big part of the reason Hopkins is up here 4-zip late in the game.
Back up the middle, that'll get through for a base hit as Mauser knocked it past the pitcher. Yeah, I kind of had the feeling that Martinson was a little jacked up, you know, trying too hard maybe a little bit, and when he came in with those, you know, a tough spot with the runners on and everything, and maybe overthrowing a little bit.
He definitely throws hard, and that's typical with a hard throwing pitcher is they might not always be as accurate, and that was unfortunately the case when he came in a high pressure situation. He had a couple of runners on, threw a couple balls at the backstop and gave up 2 runs.
First pitch, a swing and a miss there. Tellier has walked both of his times up, once against each of the Park pitchers. Takes that one for a ball.
But if you're Park, you'd like to see him get settled in and finish this game out, whether you win or lose. Of course, you want to win, but if even if you lose 4-zip, keep that game 4-zip. Don't get further in the bullpen because you're going to have to come back up through the losers bracket if you don't pull this one off.
Shulman will go to first with it, and again throwing that one-hop throw, and the Royals are done in the fifth. No runs, one hit, one left aboard. We have completed 5 now. Hopkins maintains the lead 4-0 here on CCX Sports.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
Nice crowd on hand and various vantage points to watch from here at Hopkins. Obviously a lot of people behind the plate, but then some watching from out right field as well. We go to inning number 6, just 6 more outs for St. Louis Park. They've got to get something going, trailing 4-0. Marty Hurdy leading off and swing and a miss. They are at their 5, 6, 7 spots, and it's been a good outing for Jay Mound. I think he's kind of gotten stronger as the game has gone on. He's had 1, 2, 3 innings the last 2 after kind of a lot of base runners, like we were saying there at the time. Both pitchers were putting up zeros, but kind of dancing on the edge here with a lot of runners. But then the last couple, he's got set them down in order.
Yeah, he's been pretty efficient the past couple innings.
Hurdy last time up was hit by a pitch, a breaking ball that kind of got away and plunked him in the back. Close one there, but missed.
Good take there. Nibble on the corner outside, down in the zone. Just missed that strike.
That one is a strike. Like you talked about with Martinson, trying to keep them where they're at, I think for the Orioles hitters here, even if you don't come back and win, they would like to get something going these last 2 innings. Maybe put a couple runs on board, even if you don't quite catch them, just to get something feeling better into that next round. Tapper to third. Mauser has to charge a tough play, and he got him. Just threw him out. Charging that ball, throwing on the run. It was a close play. And he just nipped Hurdy at first.
Yeah, great play there by the third baseman to come in and charge that ball. Good strong throw over to first base. Force the issue to the umpire. And you reward good defense. Good clean defense will usually get you that call. Bang, bang play.
Yeah, very close.
Very close.
Taken down low for a ball.
I've seen enough baseball that you get past the point of being upset or arguing with the call. It is what it is. I mean, they're not going to overrule it. It is what it is. That was a bang-bang play, and I mean, this is a human being trying to make a good call. He did the best he can. I think he was right.
Liner out to center field. Sawatsky getting over to it, so Moran doesn't have anything to show for a very well-hit ball there. And that's out number 2.
Yeah, well-hit ball straight to the center fielder on a line drive. Good read by the center fielder to come in right off the bat. Makes an easy play to get that second out.
Martin will bat now for St. Louis Park. Had a single in the second, bounced to the second baseman last time up. turns on this one, drives it to right field, and it's down for a hit and rolling out to the wall. Martin's going to probably have 3 on this one. A bit of a gamble taken there in the outfield, and Martin will be in with a triple. You could see that ball sinking, and it was like, oh, is it going to hang up enough? Schaefer, I think, probably wishes maybe he'd held back and just played that one on a hop.
You know, I think that's the right play. It's an aggressive play, but with nobody else on base and 2 outs, you try and go make that play. Get out of the inning, get your pitcher back in the dugout. You're still 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning, so you don't put yourself at risk. But you make that play, great. If you don't, that was really close. He had a chance. Glove was right there. Just missed it by a step.
Not a good feeling when you have to get up and go run after it like that.
Nobody behind you. That's the problem with the challenge with the corner outfields. If you don't make that play, it's going all the way to the fence. You know, to the alleys, you have your center fielder who's going to back you up, but not in that play.
Jungroth will be the hitter here. He is 0 for 2. Park, first threat in a while. That is a swing, I think. Let's see. I guess not. I think 0 for 4. And this one hit in the air, should get them out of the inning. And Schaefer drops it. A run will score. Well, he had a tough try on that first one. And then this time was under it, and everything seemed to be in place to get them out of the inning. And instead he drops it. So make it 4-1.
Unfortunate play there for the right fielder as it comes right out the heel of his glove and bounces off to the side. But if you're the runner, you should be at second. You should be head down. Don't worry about it. Don't watch the play. Put your head down. Bust your butt to second base. And unfortunately, he's still at first base. Keeps that force out at second base, and you catch a good job here. Good leadership here by a catcher coming out to the pitcher saying, "Hey, you pitched. You pitched great. That previous hit could have been caught. It wasn't. Guy got to third base. That ball should have been caught. It wasn't. Just keep throwing strikes. Do your thing."
Schulman, let's see, is this a foul ball? Looks like it was, yes. So the Orioles getting on the board. Kind of an adventurous inning out there for Schaefer. Missed on a diving try, turned into a triple, and then dropped what seemed to be a relatively routine ball. There's the strike. And much like earlier in the game, it was a little bit tougher play, but Jungroth, ironically, is the guy who hit that one that was dropped. He had one in left field that he dropped too. So those guys might commiserate a little bit and say, hey, it's not as easy as it looks. Pitch missing just high there to Schulman. That one is over for a strike. Schulman caught looking, and the mound gets out of trouble. St. Louis Park does get its first run. 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 left aboard. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning here. Hopkins 4, St. Louis Park 1 on CCX.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
We head to the bottom half of inning number 6 here at Hopkins. Thanks for joining us for Section 6 4A baseball on CCX Sports. The 8-9 one-hitters coming up for Hopkins. They lead it by a score of 4-1. Martinson, the second St. Louis Park pitcher who came on in the third, is still out there for the Orioles. Well, they did get one in that last inning. Took advantage of an error there for the Royals, but only one more at bat coming for St. Louis Park. So their job number 1 here is to keep it where it is. Actually, we're going to have a pinch hitter to start the inning. Lincoln Heath will bat in the number 8 spot. And Heath drives one to deep right field. Wow, this one to the fence seems like a pretty good idea to have sent him up, right? First pitch, and he blasts it for a double.
Good for him. Looks like he's battling through a knee injury. Oh, what a good smile. Good for him.
Heath was 0 for 6 as a hitter this year. Not anymore. I thought that one even had a chance to get out of here.
No, he crushed that ball. Short out the fence. That was rocked. Bounced off the warning track. Good pop. Good for him.
Rado will run, so he re-enters as the runner, and I think, Drew, you were right on about the knee injury. There's a bunt laid down by Schaefer, and Martinson, good thing he throws hard, as he got a lot on that throw, and they just get the out at first. Does move the runner over to third with just one out. Hopkins trying to tack on an insurance run or two, and Max Lerner will bat.
And I would assume with speed on base paths, they'll bring the infield in to cut off the run at home.
Yeah, with this score and this late in the game, I think you almost have to.
Yeah.
Lerner takes a strike. He had a bunt single last time up. I mean, I don't think it would be out of the question.
To the right side, yeah.
Out of the question anyway. He's good bat control. Oh, almost got hit by that one.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a 7-4 game, it's different. But you're squeezing outs for runs here, and
instead he's going to have a little soft liner that if the infield was back might have been an out. Instead, it's a base hit. And Hopkins adds to the lead now at 5-1. Nice piece of hitting there. He didn't crush it, but yeah, I think it's fair to say they would have had a play on that ball if they were back at normal depth. But I think that's the play you got to make in that spot, as we said.
That's tough thing if you're.
I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't have been an out anyway, though.
I think if your first baseman's back in normal position, that's an out. But that's you can't count on that. And good base running there by the runner at third base. Immediately going back at third base, knowing that if they catch the ball, you got to go back. If they don't catch the ball, you're scoring easily. So go back and know what you're doing in the game.
Wyatt Peterson, the batter here, and he drives this one to center. That's going to be down for a hit. Lerner will check in at second. Boy, he has been on all 4 times today. Peterson, 3 singles after reaching on an error in the first. And Hopkins not satisfied with that lead, and here's Liam Dowley, who's had a busy evening as the courtesy runner for Peterson every time. Lindstrom will bat here for Hopkins. And yeah, you're up by 4 in the 6th, but I think you still got to be looking to tack on some more if you're Hopkins at this point. You just never know what could happen in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, you definitely want to put up. You want to get at least one more run across the board here, across the plate if you can. With one run, one out, when a runner on first and second. Good
runner
break.
Is going, but it's a foul ball. Lindstrom mad at himself. He didn't mean to swing there, but check swing. It looked like Lerner was going to have third easily.
Lerner had a great break. He read Martinson's to deliver to home and had a great jump. And fortunately, the batter put the foul ball in play and brings him back to second base.
Oh, that one high and in. I think Lindstrom realized that his teammate was going to have that one stolen. He just didn't intend to put the bat on it at all, but it happened. Driving this one down, fouled on the right field side. Boy, how many balls have we had in roughly that same area tonight? It seems like a ton.
Yeah, Cole's been pretty busy over there. He's had 4 or 5 over there. He's up against the fence on. Unfortunately, he just hasn't been able to catch him. Just out of his reach.
The element of surprise is gone now, but I suppose it's not out of the question that they could try and get running again.
Mm-hmm.
That one is high and in as well.
Yeah, Lerner's an aggressive base runner out there, and he's getting a good read because the second baseman and shortstop are letting him linger off.
Hard liner, knocked down at third. He's still going to get the out, but just one, it looks. Oh, no, he's going to get the out at second as well. That one was hit so hard, and the base runners are kind of caught in no man's land, and it turns into a double play ultimately. I don't know if Moran dropped that on purpose. Probably not, but either way, it turns into a double play to end the inning. Hopkins gets 1 run in the inning, 3 base hits, and 1 left aboard. We go to the 7th, 5-1 Royals.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Well, a nice outing for that young man in the middle there as Jay Mound works the first 6 for Hopkins, allowing 1 unearned run to the Orioles. And now coming on in relief is Reed Ortley to try and close it down for Hopkins as they will carry a 5-1 lead. Ortley, a 2-1 record, 2.50 ERA. He's worked 14 innings. He has 1 save, allowed 10 hits with 4 walks and 12 strikeouts. So they come in with the lefty to try and finish it off. Top of the order for Park as Hagerty, Helfman, and Moran will try and extend this one. They're down by 4, but obviously that's the kind of the fun part about baseball is until that third out is recorded, you don't run out of time on a clock or anything.
Especially late in the game with the new pitcher, and anything can happen. Top of the order up for Orioles here.
First pitch for a strike. Hagerty is 2 for 3. Also has had a couple nice catches in center. He's a good outfielder, good leadoff guy. That one is over for a strike. I was going to say, a lot of times, too, major leaguers are used to having a defined role where they're going to come in as a reliever or whatever. Sometimes in high school, you find guys that struggle to come in, either during an inning or even to start an inning late in a game like this. Hagerty fights that one off.
Yeah, and that's just part of coaching, and that happens early in the season. You gotta teach kids, hey, I want you as a starter, I want you as a reliever, I want you to do anything you can to be a part of this team. And the kids start to realize, okay, I'm a pitcher. I'm going to pitch whenever the coach needs me. I'm going to step in and do my job.
To third. Hauser up with it and throws it away. Hagerty will make the turn and dig for second. I think it was hard to tell if he was trying for the one-hop throw again, but he didn't put it quite on target. It'll be an E5 and leadoff man to second for our St. Louis Park. Nice pickup here, but then, yeah, I don't know if he was. I mean, it's worked out for these guys tonight, but I wouldn't fall in love with trying to get used to making one-hop throws all the time. I don't know that he necessarily was there, but there are certain situations when it works out, especially on turf, obviously, but I think by and large you're better off, trying to throw it through that first baseman's chest.
Yeah, there's variables that come into play. When the ball's hit fairly hard directly at you, you got to know you have an extra step or two on the runner. He started to realize, okay, if the leadoff runner's at the plate, lefty, you lose a step here, lose a step there, still rushed it. You saw him get the ball, and he kind of rushed his throw. If he just kept his rhythm and made a normal throw, he probably had a good strong throw to the chest. Short hops to first baseman, scoots down to the right field line, and the runner's down on second base.
And obviously, for the first baseman, trying to backhand that bouncing throw is much harder than on the other side. So Helfman will hit. A little bit of life for St. Louis Park as they get the leadoff guy to second here in the 7th. They're down 5-1, but threatening. Peterson blocking that one.
Playing no doubles in the outfield for Hopkins, probably 10, 15 feet from the fence. They want to keep everything in front of them. They're not worried about the runner at second base. They want to keep this runner from trying to get to second base at all costs.
There's a strike. Low and in with that one.
Hopkins has two guys warming up down there in the bullpen, so it looks like a short leash. And sometimes you know if your pitcher has it, and you don't want to put them in a position to let this spiral out of control. You want to give them an opportunity to get out of the game without spiraling out of control. I think that's what we're going to see here with Hopkins if they get another runner or two on base.
Fouled away. And like we talked about when Mound was still in there too, though, I don't mean you want to give them anything great to hit, but at the same time, you do have this 4-run lead. You still need to be aggressive if you're Ortley out there.
Yeah, you want to throw strikes. Don't get free passes. Make them put the ball in play. Trust your defense.
This one knocked past the shortstop and into left field. They're going to hold the runner up here. I think Hopkins was kind of almost conceding that run, but no reason to gamble. Helfman will have a single. Hagerty, I thought, was being waved in, but he stopped.
There might be some strategy there from the coaching side of St. Louis Park because that run really doesn't matter. You keep that runner on base. It keeps it in the head of the defense to be aware of that. A ground ball hard hit to the third baseman here, they might, think about it, whereas it doesn't really matter for Park. Yes, it's nice to get that run across the plate, but this puts a little more pressure on the Hopkins defense.
Moran is the batter, first and third, nobody out. Orioles coming here in the 7th. And I don't want to guess again on these check swings. I haven't been very accurate. That was a no swing. Peterson has to block that one, 2-0. This one coming anything but easy here for Ortley in the 7th. Had a big cut and fouls that one straight back.
Yeah, I think he doesn't get shorted on his swings that often. Usually when he sees the ball, he's going to put a good hard swing on it, and that one he did. He just missed it, just underneath it.
Yeah, a lot of times when you get that, 2-0, 3-0, that's when you maybe see the best pitch to hit. So I don't have any problem with him swinging there, that's for sure.
Time was called.
Park not showing any indication. I don't think you want to take the chance on getting a runner thrown out there. So not starting the guy from first. That one missed.
Be interested to see what happens here. 3-1 count, give him a red light. You got to give him a green light. He's one of the best hitters on the team, and if he gets contact, it's going to go. But probably don't put the runner in motion here. And tough spot for the pitcher. You got to get out.
Top foul. So 3-2 pitch up coming here to Moran. And it's a called third strike. Moran thought that was in. And that will be out number 1. And Denham will be the hitter. Park bench chirping a little bit on that one. I would have to agree with them.
That's a tough spot. Tough spot. The batter's box line and down by the shoes.
So Denham was the hitter. He has hit the ball to the first baseman all 3 of his times up. Fouls this one off the end of the bat.
That changes the game quite a bit. Bases loaded, nobody out. Would have been the difference here.
Laid off that one. Ball and a strike here to Denham. And sliced foul past third. Mauser couldn't quite get to it.
Good effort there by Mauser. I didn't think he had a chance.
No, I didn't either. In fact,
I
I was almost surprised he was even running after it, and all of a sudden you look up and it's not really that far away from him. But
good read.
1-2 count here to Denham. Missed with that one. 2-2. Boy, these last outs are the hardest to get, especially in a playoff game. Back up the middle. There's 1 and 2, and Hopkins will stay in the winner's bracket with a 5-1 win over St. Louis Park as they get the contested strikeout and then a tailor-made double play ball. No runs, 1 hit. There was 1 error. And no one left for St. Louis Park in inning number 7. Boy, this is a shortstop's dream. He doesn't even need to make a throw. Lindstrom a couple steps and then throws a strike over to first base. So Hopkins coming up with the victory here. Jay Mound doing a nice job on the mound for the Royals, and a good game for them as most of the damage done in that 3rd inning, and kind of an interesting game here, Drew. Park not able to follow up their win over Wayzata, but they are still alive in the tournament, and then obviously the longer you can stay in the winner's bracket, the better, and that's where Hopkins will be right now, facing either Edina or Armstrong coming up on Saturday right back here at Hopkins. Thanks so much for joining us for Section 6-4A Baseball on CCX. For Drew Keogh and the rest of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Your final, Hopkins 5, St. Louis Park 1.